That's the son.
You think that's the son?
Yeah. First of all, Jay-Z offered them money. First, he offered them bread, like, and everything, but his aunt didn't, like, approve of it. She said, no, Jay-Z got a lien on her house, all type of shit that was going on. The lady put up paperwork and everything with his name on it and all that. I mean, but young boy's so thorough, though, he just want a dad. He not trying to get no money, he not trying to do none of that. But something happened to him, and I was like, yo, that sounds kind of weird. He said he was coming out from work, going to work, and there was a gun in his car. When he opened the door, he seen the gun. He said he went to go, like, call his man, like, yo, did you leave a gun in my car? His man's like, no. He said, why you on the phone talking to his man? The cops pull up and lock him up. So he told the cops, oh, no, that's not my guy. He's like, so he went in the building he was in, and they seen that somebody pulled the guns in his car. Oh. And pulled off. I said, I don't know nobody in the hood that got guns to just waste like that to do that. I don't know. He's like, yeah, so like Jay-Z had a gag order, like trying to get a gag order and trying to. My thing is, if it's not my son, I'll just take a test, get over with. Yeah.
Has Ramir Sadawayt finally gotten Jay-Z to admit that he's really his dad? Because after 10 years of Jay-Z doing everything he could to avoid taking a DNA test, the court has finally said enough and told Jay-Z he has to get those DNA tests done once and for all.
Do you believe wholeheartedly that Jay's your father? I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like, it's not far as a proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have to do. Like, it's not, you don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take a no. I can take, if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I can take me being embarrassed. Like, just can't take nobody not saying nothing.
And let me tell you guys, these test results have got the Carter family really upset because Jay-Z's past might finally be catching up to him. The DNA test supposedly showed what Ramir has been saying for many years, that he is Jay-Z's oldest son, and now that people are mad at Jay-Z for putting Ramir through all this trouble, Matthew Knowles is letting Jay-Z know just how badly he messed up this time. And this isn't just a simple dad and son problem, because whenever Jay-Z gets in trouble, Beyoncé always gets pulled into it too. And Matthew doesn't want Jay-Z to keep embarrassing his daughter and dragging her into problems that aren't her fault and she shouldn't have to deal with, okay you guys? So it looks like there's no way for Jay-Z to run away anymore from this dad drama, because for the first time ever, Ramir Sadawayt got a big win in his case against Jay-Z that's been going on for many years. People are saying that the court finally let his case go forward and told Jay-Z he has to give DNA samples to end this drama. If you've been following this case even a little bit, you know that it's been a really long time coming with this one. And at some point, it looked like it was never going to happen because Jay-Z has enough money to keep this thing going forever without giving Ramir what he wanted and deserved.
Never try to contact me in any type of way, and that's all I'm asking is, like, 'cause I honestly really want the case to be over with. Like, I've been going through, just like I said, a lot, and as I said, I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not trying to do this to make somebody seem like a bad person, a bad father. I'm not trying to make nobody seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth, and if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, like, what is it really? Why you? What is it? I just really want it over. It's something that's really affecting my life, and I just want it over with.
The first time we ever heard about Ramir was back in 2010 when he first asked the court to make Jay-Z take a paternity test. This was just 2 years after Jay-Z and Beyoncé got married. And back then, all of Ramir's tries to get the case started ran into legal problems. The Pennsylvania courts said no to him because of how old he was when the case was filed. Since he was already 18, from Pennsylvania, he took the case all the way to New Jersey. But then Jay-Z's lawyer said there's no reason why he should do a DNA test in New Jersey because he had no personal or work connections to that state, so a judge threw out the case. But Ramir's lawyers quickly appealed and they showed tax papers that proved there was a Sean Carter who did have connections to New Jersey. Still, Jay-Z's lawyers kept fighting and they said that there's really no proof that the Sean Carter in those papers is actually Jay-Z. This seemed like such a tiny detail, but it was enough to get the case thrown out again. But Ramir kept going, sharing personal details that made it clear why he believes that Jay-Z could possibly be his father. According to him, his mother was only 16 years old when she met and started dating Jay-Z, who was 22 at the time. By the time Ramir was born in 1993, his mother and Jay-Z weren't talking anymore, and she had also gotten back together with her high school boyfriend, Robert Graves. At the time, she decided the best thing to do was to put Robert's name on Ramir's birth certificate, but she later told her son who his real father is. Ramir got a DNA test done with Robert, and the results proved that he was not Ramir's father. And when it was time for Jay-Z to take the test, he basically looked for every way possible to avoid giving up his DNA.
Maybe I feel like, right now I feel like I got a bigger fight, this is part of my life, so I won't stop fighting for, paternity or anything else, whatever I put my mind to, I fully go. I was hoping that it wasn't true, but if it is, honestly, you cannot do things like that. You will get what you deserve. I don't know what them guys was thinking. I don't know what he was thinking. Only he can respond and get himself out of this.
Way beyond. I feel like, right now, I feel like I got a bigger fight, This is part of my life, so I won't stop fighting for, the paternity or anything else. Whatever I put my mind to, I go all the way. I was hoping that it wasn't true, but if it is, honestly, you cannot do things like that. You will get what you deserve. I don't know what those guys were thinking. I don't know what he was thinking. If it's true, only he can respond and get himself out of this. Ramir's case got so well known that the NAACP and the ACLU took it up and fought for him. Then in 2014, he filed the case again, only for it to be thrown out just as fast, because he couldn't prove that Sean Carter in those papers really is Jay-Z. Now, Ramir has taken the matter all the way to New Jersey Supreme Court, where the court told Jay-Z to take the test. Getting to this point has been a huge win for Ramir, because ever since he came out with these claims, people on the internet have made fun of him, saying he was just looking for attention and was trying to get money quickly. But if you've listened to him, he's made it clear over and over again that he doesn't care about the money, the attention, or the fame. The only thing he wanted was just to find out who his father is, and going after Jay-Z all this time has been nothing but trouble for him because of the scary threats and harassment from Jay-Z's team. There was even one time he found a gun in his car and he was trying to figure out how the gun got there. The police came and started asking questions. From what Ramir said, the cops would have almost arrested him if it wasn't for the security camera footage that caught someone putting the gun in his car. So this really isn't about the money for him, because he knows the truth and it will always feel like he has some unfinished business.
With fair due process, they just been, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, so I can't get in there and actually know fully what's going on. I'm only there to, say what I believe in, and, you guys can put me in a lie, such and such, anything else you want me to do. I've always been here to stand on the truth. I told them if it was wrong, I'm a man, I can apologize, but for me to go in there and ask for fair due process and not get it, and they just throw you all around like you're a rag doll, I just find that to be crazy, and I really think we need to change that. Like, it's crazy. I'm not answering for nothing. I've always been on here. I wasn't never answering for nothing. People can say what they want. As I said, I work, I'm doing great. I gotta take care of my kids. Like, I'm driving a nice car, I'm getting nice income. So it's not like I've never been here to answer for nothing or trying to get 15 minutes of fame. So people just gotta realize that these court systems and these people that's out here and controlling these people that's in the court systems, we need to change it, because we can't go and get fair due process. What are we all paying taxes and all this?
So now that the law finally seems to be on Ramir's side, he's just happy that he can finally see the whole thing come to an end. But do you guys want to know who isn't too happy right now? MHM, Matthew Knowles, because word on the street is that he's getting really frustrated with Jay-Z's past coming back to cause problems. Not just because of Beyoncé either. From the cheating scandals to Jay-Z's supposed involvement with Diddy and now this, Beyoncé always ends up getting caught up in it, and not in a good way. If the DNA results came out and it proves that Jay-Z really is Ramir's dad and had something to do with his mother while she was underage, you can't even begin to imagine the kind of drama that would fall back on the Carters. And this is not just about Jay-Z and Beyoncé. It's also about their family, because this coming to light could blow up their entire reputation and destroy everything they've worked hard for. So it's important for Jay-Z to make sure that the door stays closed to protect his family. Well, the family he actually wants to claim. And it looks like Jay-Z might be taking what Matthew Knowles said to heart, because he just gave a very clear response to Ramir's claims for the first time since this whole thing started. He said that this lawsuit is the latest chapter in what he's calling a many years long harassment campaign, and that despite his claims being looked at and rejected by multiple courts, Ramir has continued to tell his story to whoever would listen to him. Jay-Z's legal team has also fought back at all of those claims Ramir made about them scaring him, and said that it was a complete lie. According to them, they did try to reach out to Satterthwaite's guardian just to see if they could set up a meeting, but it was met with anger, and all attempts at talking have stopped since then. I don't know about you guys, but I do think that Jay-Z and his team are holding back way more than they need to. If he is so sure that Ramir isn't his son, why not just do the DNA test and put it to end? The fact that he's been okay with letting this go on for years, rather than just settling it once, and for all makes it seem like there may be some truth, or a lot of truth to what Ramir has been saying, and the internet definitely thinks that there's something fishy with the way Jay-Z keeps running from the truth. I really do fear for Ramir. Having to beg Jay-Z to take a paternity test for years is heartbreaking. I hope he has fair legal help to protect him. It's crazy that people have the power to supposedly manipulate legal process. Enough is enough. Take the test. I'm not going to lie. If it comes out that this is Jay-Z's son for real and Jay went all these years ignoring this boy, then Jay-Z isn't the guy you all think he is, because that's some loser behavior. I don't think Jay-Z can claim Ramir if he wanted to, because if he doesn't, we'll all know that he's a predator, and that's why he's been avoiding the DNA test. I hope Ramir gets the justice he's looking for. But do you guys think it's possible for Jay-Z to really be Ramir's father? And have you really studied a side-by-side picture of the two of them? MHM, tell me what you think in the comments, and make sure you like and subscribe because there is much more drama that we're going to be covering on this topic. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, beauties.